Welcome to Laplink Connections, where we connect with thought leaders to explore the latest news and technology trends. Today I'm talking with Susanne Müller Zantop, Managing Director of CEO positions in Zurich, Switzerland, where she's working with many executives around the world. Hi, Susanne. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Thomas. Thanks for having me.
Well, certainly with COVID, we're living in a very strange time. Has your business been affected by COVID?
The biggest change we've been experiencing is that we finally realized, or everybody around us realized, that video is here and video is meant to stay. I brought you something which is my first smartphone, and we used it when we founded the firm way back in 2006. It even has a small keyboard. And it has a SD card, and here we stored a CEO video because we believed in video as means of communication for top executives. And you know, just 15 years later, look at the difference, and here we are, and this is my year.
Yeah, we have just moved office, and so I found on my desk all my cell phones. Yeah, and so I have the same collections of cell phones. And certainly, the whole, remote office is changing my life a lot, because we are facing big challenges with our customers. Where moving computers in remote offices with our PC mover is a big challenge, or without it, it's a big challenge for these companies, and we can help them tremendously doing that. Yeah. But going back to, your work with CEOs in many firms, do you see any change in behavior by CEOs and C-level executives? Have they taken a more active approach to leadership and communication in these times?
A lot more active. I have two examples for you. One is Igor Talchinsky, the CEO and founder of WorldQuant, a investment complex in the US, quantitative investment complex. And he is someone who normally doesn't really like to talk much. But now he's telling us that he talks to his people on a daily basis as much as possible, holds as many meetings as possible, because he sees that people need energy, and they are being energized by novelty, by interesting information. And he sees himself as the chief provider of novelty, so to speak, to energize his people. And I really like that example because it releases dopamine in the brain, and that again helps you to be in a better mood. And a second example is by Matt Maddox from Wynn Resorts, and I have to show you this, engaged his 30,000 employees in creating an Instagram channel and providing content on it. And here I quickly need to share, just a sec. So because, what do you do? Home office isn't for chefs or for housekeepers or for gardeners, right? So each of them created pieces of content on their Instagram channel, and you have blow drying and hairstyling tips and towel art and hand and arm massage and a lot of cooking. And I really like that example because it is again providing energy and a feeling of togetherness. And this is what they need in order to reopen soon and be happy and healthy.
Great. Yeah, no, it's a great example, and certainly, we all face, different ways of communication. Have you seen a real role model of leader who takes a very different approach in external communication during the crisis, apart from the examples that you had?
Yeah. Well, in my eyes, I have to say that I really respect how Jack Dorsey from Twitter is carrying himself these days, because he has a very powerful enemy. He has very aggressive activist investors. He has advertising customers. He has an outspoken user base. He has regular customers, and he has the regulator, the antitrust authorities he's talking to. So imagine, I mean, that's really a lot of very different types of stakeholders. And in my eyes, he does great.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that it really comes out in these kind of crises, how we can step up. And a lot of times what we learn, not only in internal, but also in external communication, when people say, oh, this is so much better, it also means how bad we did in the past. Because it's not necessarily just about, oh, this is what we do in the crisis. We should have done it before. So, but this is all about external communication. What are the challenges for internal communications when you have all your employees in the home office? Do you see also a lot of change there?
Yeah, well, I don't know how it's on your end, but in my case, I'm seeing less people and I communicate with less people. So what happens is the radius shrinks, and this is kind of dangerous, especially for internal communications, because when you don't see everybody, when you don't talk to everybody, and be it by virtual means, things happen. I mean, it's like probably like with small children, when you don't pay attention to them, they start making a small noise, and then they make a bigger noise, and then they create a bit of chaos. And in a way, it's a bit similar to what employees can do in creating a bit of chaos, so that the top pays attention. So our advice is focus. Internal communications is extremely important. And those two examples from Matt and Igor might be good inspiration for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we started doing basically a do a fix every Tuesday with the employees. And again, they're saying, oh, this is so much better. Again, we did a bad job before, because now we are talking more about all company issues, all department heads report. And normally the standard employee never heard that. So, that is probably something that will stay, for the times to come, even after COVID. Right?
Yeah, hopefully. And there's one thing you might think about or try, which is that we started to have internal people, when we have those virtual meetings, give a 5-minute talk about a subject that is dear to their heart, but completely not related to business.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. Let's see what we can find here in our company. That's so great. Yeah, that's a good point.
You get to know them in a different way.
Yeah.
And it's good practice.
Talking about a different subject that is dear to your heart, but has nothing to do with our topic, and that is, of course, Mount Everest. You are the only person that I know, and of course, one of the few that actually climbed Mount Everest. And I'm sure you had tons, millions of answers you already gave about your trip. But I saw a clip, a video clip, and I think you said something like, well, you tried other 8K mountains before, bigger mountains before, and you failed. And instead of trying the little ones, or the smaller ones again, you actually went to the crown. And I found that fascinating, where you take perhaps something that you didn't achieve to actually create a much stronger goal and succeed it. And I find that fascinating.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, it kind of, I think that is one of my big life lessons, that you should not be intimidated when you fail at some point and think that you should reach for lower goals. This is not necessary. In my case, I learned that the team is so important. It really depends on who is with you, and it makes all the difference.
Yeah, no, I think that's great insight. Well, thank you so much, Susanne. Was great talking to you, and talk to you soon.
Thanks a lot, Thomas. And looking forward to seeing you again physically one day.
Yes. Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, bye.